Hi, I'm Shannon Register. Welcome back to another edition of Whiteboard Monday. Today I'm going to be talking to you about commission and the commission structure on a real estate transaction. So the first most important thing to know is that as a buyer, you don't pay any commission on a real estate transaction. Maybe 1% to 2% of the time you will. That would be in a case where you're buying a property that's not listed with an agent. Maybe you have representation, but the seller doesn't, and you want to buy that for sale by owner house, then you would have to pay your own agent. But normally you do not pay a real estate agent when you are buying a property. And that's very important to remember because I've had sellers who did want to pay me to sell and market their house, but then on the buy side, they didn't want to pay commission, so they didn't want an agent, and they didn't understand that as a buyer, you don't pay real estate commission. So for purposes of the example up here, I've got a house listed with registered real estate advisors, and I've got a buyer that's working with a real estate agent. So my seller here has listed his property for 6% commission with his agent, which is an RREA agent. And when this RE/MAX agent brings the buyer, and the buyer writes the contract, and everything is negotiated, and it goes to closing, 3% of the commission stays with registered real estate advisors. And the way that commission is broken up, it goes to the brokerage and the agent. And every agent and brokerage has their own individual contract. So the money would be split up depending on what that contract states. The agent then pays for their marketing, advertising expenses, their dues, and of course it pays for their time. And on the brokerage side, you've got overhead, marketing, advertising, and expenses. The other 3% of this initial 6% commission would go to that RE/MAX agent who brought the buyer, just for purposes of this example. So this 3% will be broken up between their brokerage and their agent, however they have negotiated their contract between the brokerage and the agent. And then they, of course, have all of their expenses, just as the agent has her own expenses. And you might say, well, a buyer's agent doesn't really have any expenses. They're not having to market and advertise, but they are spending their time, of course, a lot of miles on their car showing properties, and they still have all of their real estate dues, of course, to the associations. So this is how the commission is split up with a 6% commission on a sell side transaction, and the buyer has paid no commission. So just want to give you a little insight into the commission structure on a real estate transaction. Of course, this commission is negotiable. Sometimes it goes up to 10% depending on what sort of transaction it is. Commercial is going to be different than residential. Raw land is going to be different than a property with a home on it. Acreage is different than a house in the city. So it could change a little bit. But for purposes of this example, we use 6% commission. I'm Shannon Register, here with another week of Whiteboard Monday. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next Monday.